the city to get to my destination. I just don't want to be on the highway. What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. I'm here. It's Thursday. I've been slipping this week, huh? I'm sorry, y'all. I really want to talk about things. I really want to talk about this immigration thing. And I really want to talk about how it's fucked up. The whole thing is fucked up. This man, oh, let me stay right here. The President of the United States. That don't even sound right. Every time I put that man and look, and I cannot believe that man is the actual head of this country. Never served in the military, just fucking dodged the draft. Never served in the military, never held any political office, and you use hate and homophobia and xenophobia and misogyny and patriarchy and the hate for all of that. You use that. People were so used. They voted for their racism over their self-interest, women, white women. And this man is now, you have a psychotic, narcissistic, immature nigga with so low self-esteem, unable to admit when he's wrong, gaslighter, psychopath, sociopath. Someone without a soul, who has no feeling, unable to access compassion, unable to speak clearly. Just, this person is the president. Now, I've not always agreed with every single president of the United States. I mean, that's not how it's supposed to go. You don't agree with everything they do, but goddamn, this dude, I can't even say the word president with his name together. It just doesn't make sense. I think if anything, we should learn from this man that they need to change the criteria in order to apply for the job of the President of the United States. They need to remove the Electoral College. They need to get rid of a lot of things that put him in the position. I think one of the requirements to become a president is only two requirements: that you're a U.S. citizen and that you're 35 years old or older. Okay? I don't want to wear my glasses because then the light beams off of the glasses and you can't really see me. I think that a requirement of the President of the United States, one of the requirements should be that you've served in the military. Period. Not that you dodged the draft twice, 3 times. None of that. I think you should have to at least served in the military. And then also served as in a civil office, whether it be Senate, in the Senate or any state or local civil service job. Hell, I'll even accept it if you've been a cop before. Even though I really don't jive with them niggas. Come on, you trying to keep up with me. All right. But anyway, how he ran his campaign, again, people were voting for their racist heart instead of their self-interest. White people in the middle of the country have this idea that everybody is out for their jobs and everybody wants their jobs and they can't keep their jobs and all of this stuff. And they use immigrants, illegal immigration, as a way to, support that argument. Girl, fix your face. I wonder what she was listening to. Her face was real frowned up. And they use that as their argument. If the illegal immigrants weren't here, if the blacks weren't here, I can get a job. If the immigrant, part of their little argument is, illegal immigration. Now, he started off his campaign talking about illegal immigrants, calling them rapists and drug dealers. And now he has this idea where there's a zero tolerance for anybody entering the border of the United States, entering into the United States without illegally. And what they're doing is taking them before even being charged. Everybody who has not come here legally is being detained. And as they're being detained, they're coming with their children, okay? A lot of people are seeking asylum, which means that they are seeking a safety from whatever crime or danger they're experiencing in their country they're trying to leave it. Now they're trying to get here because give us your tired and all that shit, all the little taglines and the idea of what America is supposed to be, all the little taglines make it seem like this is a place where you can freely do a lot of things. Practice your religion. That's not true. Live in your agency. That's not true. Black people can't walk around without being harassed. Freedom of religion. That's not true. Look at Muslims, how they're treated. That's not true. None of the taglines that come with the United States, from the fight song to the theme song to their taglines. It's a great marketing campaign, but people come here to seek asylum. Some people come here illegally. Some people who have come here illegally have gotten jobs, however way they are getting them, and are paying taxes. I know this for a fact. Okay, so I'm trying not to get upset because you can't say that this is an illegal immigration on a land that is not even yours. It's not yours. What kind of mind fuck is that? For you to tell somebody, you walk into somebody else's house, set up shop, tell them to build it and clean and bring some other people. Here, you build this, you clean this house, you build it, I'm going to sit around and I'm going to tell you when you done building it that 1, I don't like your skin color, 2, you don't belong here, 3, I don't give a fuck if you did build this house, it's mine now and you got to go. You can't come in here without my permission. How the fuck? That's a mind fuck. This country is psychotic. I don't care what nobody says. This country is psychotic. Psychotic. Everybody on television, this is not America. What do you mean it's not America? So the idea of America that a lot of people on the media and a lot of people like to sit in front of their cameras and talk about, this is not America, this is not American. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't know what fucking history books you've been reading, but yes, it is. This is America. They take kids and separate them from their parents. They take whole people and separate them from their land and their religion and their language. This is what the fuck they do. Part of this country is Mexico. So if you really want to talk about it, you took land again, and now you're telling people they can't come here. Part of California used to be Mexico. And you tell people they can't come here because y'all are the murderers. Y'all are the rapists. And when I'm talking about y'all, I'm talking about white men. Y'all the murderers. Y'all are the rapists. Y'all are the niggas who spread disease. Now it's your fault. The Native Americans, we don't even see half of the things that they deal with at the hands of Americans. Do you hear me? Half of the things that they deal with, we don't even hear about it. Their women go missing. Their children go missing. You don't hear shit about it on the news. So it's not just immigrants or illegal immigrants, it's natives, indigenous people, it's black people. This is what they do. Run that red line so you stupid. You're not that, it's not that serious. It's stupid. You can't tell me this, oh, this is America. Now you separating kids from their parents, not realizing the psychological ramifications of that. And these kids are going to grow up and hate this place. And if you ever want to create cells of terrorism, start doing stuff like this. What is happening today, separating children from their parents, crying, and then everybody getting on the news and saying that it's a law. It used to be a law that black people couldn't marry white people. Did it make sense? No. It used to be a law that black people had to be inside of the house at a certain time. Did it make sense? No. So you're telling me because it's a law, and it's not a law, that you separate a child from their parent who is being detained. You haven't even been arrested for breaking a law. You're being detained, and while you're being detained, you're separating these children. There's 2,500 children unaccounted for. Their parents don't know how to find them. You didn't even have a system in place to, if you were going to separate a child from their parent, to make sure that when they are able to be reunited without any discourse, without any hurdles. Now these children, no telling where they are and who they're around, because I can't trust you law enforcement personnel, who they're around these kids without their protectors. This is not America. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. This idea, and then, just seeing people on television talking about this is a Democrat issue. When you guys stop worrying about Democrats and Republicans, the shit doesn't, you're trying to say, oh, it's the Democrats' fault. What the fuck? You just got finished saying that you can pardon yourself. And your lawyer said you can shoot somebody in the head in the Oval Office and nothing would happen to you. But all of a sudden, you don't know what to do. It's out of your hands to keep these kids separated from their parents. That's disgusting. But when people have no souls, that Kristen Hansen or whatever the fuck her name is, the Homeland Security bitch, it's not that bad. They're being well taken care of. Where are their parents? Can't nobody take care of their child better than their goddamn protector. They're guardians. You guys are not guardians. You using these kids, and that's what I tell people. Look at me crazy when I say things about these school shootings, how I say they're sacrifices. They're sacrificing these kids so that they can push laws in relation to gun laws. People look at me crazy, Erica, that's crazy. That's a conspiracy theory. These are true instances. It's not a conspiracy theory that they're sacrificing these kids in order to push laws. Oh, it's not? Because what they're doing to these Mexican kids, kids from Mexico, and it's when you and let me tell y'all something before I get back to that point. It's not, when they say illegal immigration, you're automatically thinking about south of the border and Mexicans. But it's not just that. Anybody coming here from another country, it doesn't matter. That is not a U.S. territory. And shit, you see how they treating the people in Puerto Rico. So that's a sacrifice. It's not just for Mexicans or Latinos. It's for you niggas who ain't from the United States either. So when you sit there and say, I'm not going to bat for nobody. These are Mexicans that don't have nothing to do with me. Fuck you and shame on you. Because it has to do with your motherfucking people too. You're not from the United States. Your ass don't belong here either. So it has to do with your ass too, if you don't get here legally. So it's not just Latinos, okay? It's niggas too. Everybody. Think about it. How would you like for your child to be separated from you? How would you like that? For trying to seek asylum. Because not everybody coming here is a criminal. Even though the people who brought the majority of the people who have built this country, they're the criminals. And you say that these kids in these schools, when they go through these school shootings, are not being sacrificed. These children right here who are being separated from their parents, that's a sacrifice. And they're doing it as leverage, using these children as pawns in order to build a fucking wall. Who wants a wall around their damn country? What kind of shit is that? If you don't see the course that this man is taking, calling immigrants, whether they're illegal or not, you're an immigrant, okay? So calling immigrants, saying that they're infesting. They're infesting. They call them vermin. They call them rats. That's how the Nazis talked about the Jews. So if you don't see a pattern of behavior, shaking hands with dictators, having their pictures up in the fucking White House, come on, y'all. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. But guess what? This is what America is. When I tell you that fat, obese, fucking sociopath, narcissistic, that is America. Arrogant, fat, greedy, full of ego. That's America. That is America. I don't know how you can separate. What? Even like I said this a few videos back. When you go into jail and you have committed a crime against a child, they separate you because you are going to get killed by the hardest criminals, murderers, criminals. When they find out that the crime you in jail for is against a child, you better watch your motherfucking back. And here we are. You separating children. That's crime. That's abuse. That's child abuse. Kids don't have, this is another thing. You so pro-life, right? You pro-life, right? It's not the child's fault that the parent made a bad decision and now they want to have an abortion. No. You have to have the child. It's families. This is a family. And that's, if you really want to talk about, that's how Republicans talk. It's family values. It's morals. This is family values. This is what y'all do. It's absolutely what y'all do. It's disgusting. How you going to use children as pawns? But you use them, you sacrifice them. You get these people coming to these schools, shooting up kids, and then it's gun laws. We need tougher gun laws. No, y'all not. Y'all sacrificing these children. Just like you sacrificing these kids that are at the border. Now, yesterday, he's going to sign an executive order. All he wants to do is show his signature on television. He's a fucking pig. That they can no longer separate children from their parents or their guardians. Okay. But what about the 2,500 that you've already separated? Can we find their parents, please? Can we locate their mothers, their fathers, their aunts, and their uncles? Because this idea that people are coming here to commit crimes when the damn people who run the country are the biggest criminals. What are you trying to save? This is not even your fucking country. This is not your land. It's not yours. The blood that flows through the soil of this country it's disgusting. Y'all separating children. Like, are you serious? And then making jokes about it. And then you got these Republicans on television defending it. All for the sake of not going against your political affiliation. Do you understand how sick that is? Like, do you understand how when you're talking about free thinking And when you're talking about progression, and when you're talking about uplifting, and when you agree with something, just because your gang agrees with it or is pushing it, and you can't even say, yeah, this is wrong. I know I'm a Republican. This is wrong, though. I don't agree with this. When you are unable to do that, you are not a free thinker. You are a fucking feeble-minded fucking pigeon. And don't backtrack when he signs the executive order. Because y'all all wrong. All of you. Every last one of you. It's biblical, Sarah Sanders. It's biblical to uphold the law. Oh, is it? So there was a law, I'm sure you was fucking before you got married. There was a law that you needed to be stoned, bitch. So should we uphold the law? That we upholding laws? Because it's biblical to uphold the law. You gonna use the Bible? Like, y'all really crazy as hell. Like, really sick and crazy. That Sarah Sanders, when she's done with her job as press secretary, she should never get a job ever, anywhere, ever. I wouldn't hire her to do nothing. You're a liar. You're a sick, melted face, smelling like hot mayonnaise liar. It's illegal. I'm so disgusted. I'm so disgusted. And stop saying that this is not America, because it absolutely is America. It absolutely is America. This is what Americans do. This is the thread of this country, right? Taglines, slogans, songs that don't mean shit. This is not American. This is not a Republican or Democratic issue. This is a human issue. And when you realize that you're supposed to be so much about family, Republicans, they're all about family and family values and keeping the family together, don't get abortions, pro-life, all lives matter, remember? I guess they don't if they're not white. And that's clear. Illegal immigration is not only Mexicans, people. That's everybody that is not born here, coming from wherever the fuck they're coming from, without the proper paperwork. It's disgusting. Anyways, I'm done talking about this shit because I don't want to get emotional. Because listening to the audio of those children crying for their parents, crying for somebody to get them. I know my aunt's phone number. Can you just call her? Can you call my aunt? I know her number. Call her. This is a 6-year-old, 7-year-old. They're well aware. It's not like you taking a newborn who doesn't have any points of reference. 2 years old. The Kristen Hansen, is that her name? That needle-nosed bitch. Talking about it's like summer camp. Bitch, what? What kind of fucking summer camps you sending your kids to, bitch? And they get up there and they laughing and they smiling. It's not even evil. It's lower than that. It's not even evil. They don't even deserve to be called evil. They don't even have a soul in order to have any capacity to know evil, because in order to be evil, you have to have a balance of good. So, I don't see no balance here. I see just without a soul. Like, it's psychotic. It's nothing. There's no other way for me to describe it. Jeff Sessions, all he does is sit up there and smile. Betsy DeVos, all she sit up there and smile. Sarah Sanders, she wish she can smile, except for the lower part of her face is melting. Kristen Hansen smiling. Even the Mexicans who are on fucking the political shows, who are Republicans, smiling. That Steve Cortez, that bald-faced bitch. You sitting up there smiling. It's the law. No, it's not the law. That's what it, and then y'all saying it's the Democrats. You guys gotta get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here. These are children. It's their parents' fault. Their parents' fault for trying to bring them to a country. I've always said this. It's really sad that people come here to seek a better life and get here and they are just put into the box of oppression with everybody else. They just want to get on this soil because they can really navigate. A lot of people who are illegal or here illegally have navigated their whole lives without getting caught, have created paperwork to get jobs, create falsified documents so they can get jobs, so they can stay here, pay taxes, all of that shit. Not committing no crimes. And like I said, anybody committing crimes is the damn United States government, period. Since the beginning. Since the very beginning. Since you brought people over here from Africa. I don't have any earrings on. That, since the beginning. Y'all criminals. Crimes against humanity. Per capita, white people have killed the most people in the world since the humanity. But everybody else is violent. We need to be protected from the violence that comes from illegal immigrants. We need to be protected by the violence. If anything, the evidence shows you white motherfuckers are inherently violent. What you're doing in healthcare, what you're doing in education, what you're doing in military, what you're doing with the laws, what you're doing with this immigration, you're inherently violent. And then you use the Bible to justify. And that's normal to use the Bible to justify criminal behavior, to use the Bible to justify slavery, to use the Bible to justify killing gay people, to use the Bible to justify racism, to use the Bible to justify misogyny, to use the Bible. I'm done talking about it. Shame on everybody who agrees with separating a child from their parent. Y'all disgusting. Your karma is gonna be a beautiful thing to watch. I tell you that much. A beautiful thing. Take care of each other, for real.